Hey, Freddy with CJ Pony Parts. If you've been following our project F-150, you've seen we've already done a catback exhaust. Now that we can get some extra air out, it's time to shove some more air into our EcoBoost with a cold air intake. Now there are several different options of intakes for the EcoBoost, and over the next several weeks we're going to show you how to install several of them. And today we have the K&N AirCharger cold air intake. This cold air intake features polyethylene intake tubes and a cotton gauze air filter, which K&N claims will give you an increase of up to 23 horsepower. This easy bolt-on intake, which includes everything necessary for installation, will make your truck look, perform, and sound better, and today we're going to be putting it on our 2016 EcoBoost F-150. For this installation, you'll need a 1/4-inch ratchet, 7mm socket, 8mm socket, 4mm hex key, an extension, flathead screwdriver, a marker, tape measure, and cutters. To install the K&N intake, the factory intake has to come off, and we're going to start off by removing the air temperature sensor. Just push the tab on the sensor and pull it off. And there's 3 clamps securing this intake tube to the airbox, and we're going to remove those. This clamp's a little bit more difficult to get to. You can either use a flathead screwdriver on these or a 7mm socket. Pop the retainers off the airbox. Remove the airbox lid and remove the tube. Now remove the air filter. Now we can begin to install the K&N cold air intake. To start off, grab the smaller trim that K&N supplies, cut it in half. You're going to have 2 sections of 9.5 inches. Grab the 2 smaller pieces of trim and put it on the bottom side of the supplied airbox. Now once you have the smaller trim in place where you would like it, pull it back and put some super glue down. We decided to cut our trim into sections. We're not going to do one continuous line around it. So we have 2 10-inch sections and 2 9.5-inch sections. We're going to put the 10-inch sections up top. And put the other 10-inch one on the bottom as well. Put the shorter ones on the side. Make sure you contour to the shape of the box, and you can cut off the excess. Now we're going to install this filter adapter in the box. We'll be using the supplied stainless hardware for the installation. Take the hose clamp for the filter, put it on the filter with the hose clamp facing up, and put it on the adapter. When you put this on, you want to make sure the hose clamp is facing up so you can easily tighten it or remove it when it's in the vehicle. You will have to transfer over the air intake temperature sensor. To do that, twist it counterclockwise and wiggle it out. Install the grommet that K&N supplies into their intake tube. To install the temperature sensor in the new tube, you have to remove the O-ring. Be very careful when doing this. The sensor is very fragile. And put the sensor in the grommet. And now we're ready to install the intake in our F-150. When installing this K&N airbox, make sure the tabs on it line up with the factory airbox. And use the factory clips to secure it. To make installation a little easier, we pre-installed our clamps and couplers, and now we're going to put it on the truck. Tighten up all your clamps. Once you have all your clamps nice and secure, reinstall the intake temperature sensor. And your installation's finished. And now we're going to see what it sounds like. Our K&N AirCharger cold air intake is installed. It looks great, it sounds great. Installation should take you about an hour, and before you know it, you'll be heading down the road.